Republicans abandoning Donald Trump, Obama has a message, too late. President Obama, at an event on Sunday in North Las Vegas, Nevada, implored the crowd to vote for Hillary Clinton and sought to tarnish Representative Joe Heck, Republican of Nevada, who is in a tight race for the Senate. President Obama on Sunday savaged Representative Joe Heck, Republican of Nevada, for neglecting to dismiss Donald J. Trump prior in the presidential race, looking to stain Mr. Hill and other Republican competitors the nation over by relationship with a leading figure he called foul and unfit for the administration. Talking at a secondary school here as he started a three-day battling and raising money trip, Mr. Obama depicted Mr. Hill, who is in a focused Senate race that could decide control of that chamber, as having empowered Mr. Trump's ascent by underwriting his type of divisive legislative issues. Just now, with Mr. Trump's crusade foundering, is Mr. Hill willing to surrender him, the president said. I comprehend Joe Heck now wishes he never said those things in regards to Donald Trump, Mr. Obama told a few thousand individuals, taking note of that Mr. Hill had said he had high trusts that Mr. Trump would get to be president and thought he was fit to have control over the atomic codes. However, they're on tape, they're on the record, and now that Trump's survey numbers are cratering, he said, I'm not supporting him. Past the point of no return. You don't get kudos for that. In swimming so forcefully into the Nevada race, in which Mr. Hill is competing against Catherine Cortez Masto, a Democratic previous state lawyer general, to succeed Harry Reid, the resigning Senate Democratic pioneer, Mr. Obama was attempting to expand his contention against Mr. Trump into one that can sully a substantial number of Republicans. The president said they had was a tease for quite a long time with a strain of exposed knuckled partisanship that spoke to individuals who looked to delegitimize him by dishonestly declaring that he was conceived outside the United States and was plotting to take Americans' firearms and force military law. Presently, he said, they ought to be considered answerable for the results. They just remained by and said nothing, and their base really started to trust this insane stuff, Mr. Obama said. Donald Trump didn't begin this. He simply did what he generally does, which is slap his name on it, assume praise for it and advance it. Presently, when all of a sudden it's not working, he included, all of a sudden that is a major issue. Indeed, what took you so long? What the hell? He went ahead to rehash the expression a few times. Mr. Obama beseeched the group to end up voting for Hillary Clinton, or see all the improvement made amid his residency go out the window. Vying for the occupation I presently hold, you have a person who substantiates himself unfit for this office each and every day, each and every route, and on the opposite side, you have some individual who is as qualified as anyone who's ever keep running for the administration, Hillary Rodham Clinton, Mr. Obama said. Be that as it may, he held his most keen feedback for Mr. Hill, depicting him as a toady of the very rich person Koch siblings, who have put millions in a Nevada race. Mr. Obama has as of late made crusading and raising money for Mrs. Clinton an energetic center, making a trip to a focused state no less than a day or two every week. The president had constantly wanted to be an apparatus in the last days of the crusade, planning to boost the odds that his legacy would live on in her overseeing motivation. Be that as it may, lately, Mr. Obama has extended that desire, attempting to decipher Mr. Trump's difficulties into increases for Democrats the nation over. On Thursday, he pilloried Senator Marco Rubio, Republican of Florida, for denouncing his gatherings chosen one without pulling back his underwriting, contending that Mr. Rubio was being deceptive. The circumstance is diverse in Nevada, where Mr. Hill dropped his support for Mr. Trump after the development this month of a spilled recording from 11 years back in which Mr. Trump gloated about kissing and grabbing ladies without their assent. Mr. Hill said Mr. Trump ought to drop out of the race, a move that seems to have taken a toll him bolster among Republican base voters. That has abandoned him barely trailing Ms. Cortez Masto in surveys. The race once considered Republicans' most obvious opportunity to wrest away a Democratic seat is a case of how Mr. Trump's sporadic battle has shaken up the political guide. The challenge has pulled in tremendous measures of cash, with associations sponsored by moderates like the Koch siblings, and additionally by liberals like Tom Steyer and George Soros, pouring in a sum of more than $54 million as such, as indicated by the Center for Responsive Politics. The race is relied upon to turn in substantial part on voter turnout endeavors. Much will rely upon Hispanics, who make up more than a fourth of the populace and incline toward Democrats, yet who frequently turn out in moderately low numbers. In treating Nevadans to vote early, Mr. Obama said it was vital that they communicate something specific by turning out in huge numbers. "Do it enormous, don't leave any uncertainty," he said to Salute. Dear listeners, thanks for watching this news. Stay with us for next news. Please subscribe this channel.